Oh, hi. Hello. How are you? Welcome. 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 Another alternative scenario. ASMR video. Well, as we know, democracy is a form of government in which power is vested in the hands of people, either directly or through elected representatives. Democracy has some basic principles like freedom, equality, and protection of the individual rights. Well, the question is what the world will look today if this system had not been invented. Yeah, this is the question. And we gonna study some alternative scenarios and, of course, some fictional facts about what the world look today if democracy was not invented. Well, overall, democracy is often regarded as a fundamental aspect of modern governance, promoting civic engagements, political participation, and some peaceful resolution of conflicts. But the absence of democracy, what could lead off? Well, first, let's start with an alternative fact. The monarchical matrix. Society is structured around a complex system of familial lineage and inheritance. Dynastic families rule with absolute authority, and power is passed down through bloodlines rather than being subject of the people. And this is one of the scenarios. Another one, the absence of democracy, will lead to techno-tyranny. Techno-tyranny. We can transmute all system of democracy in the future, and if the basic system of democracy is absent, well, in the future, definitely a powerful artificial intelligence system will start to govern the basic aspects of the society, making decisions based on algorithmic calculations, not on democratic rules. In this case, individual freedoms are sacrificed in the name of the efficiency and order. In a few words, this could be a techno-tyranny. Another fact or another outcome: mega corporations control every phase of life, from governance to healthcare and to entertainment. Citizens are essentially exploited and slaves of these conglomerates, and their rights are determined by their value of the corporate machine. Well, this is a dark fate of humanity if this could happen. Another possible scenarios religious leaders hold their sway over all aspects of society. Interpreting divine will dictate laws and policies, like in the past, in the medieval age. Dissent and heresy and punishment will be severe for those who deviate from this prescribed dogma. The absence of democracy will divide a society in feudal territories ruled by feudal lords with power centralized in the hands of the wealthy ones. Another scenario will be dictatorial dystopia. Yes, a single authoritarian ruler controls the entire population through fear and oppression. Dissent is swiftly and brutally suppressed, and citizens live in constant fear of arbitrary punishment. Society functions as collective consciousness, which individually gathered into unified collective. Decisions are made through consensus, but dissenters are assimilated and rejected. Without democracy, there will be a martial law monopoly. Well, in that case, military dictatorships could rise, and they will maintain strict control all over all aspects of life and society. And if we are talking about military dictatorships, the martial law will have no room for exception. Civil liberties are sacrificed in the name of national security. Alright. Another possible outcome. Society, it's stratified based on genetic superiority, with those possessing desirable traits enjoying privilege and power. What will be if the democracy will be absent completely in a system? Anarchy, of course. Society exists in a state of perpetual chaos in this case, with no centralized authority to enforce laws and maintain order. Violence will be the reign, and survival of the fittest will become a daily routine. Well, there is also another scenario. Power is concentrated in the hands of a few wealthy elites, oligarchs, who will start to manipulate the systems to their own needs and benefits. Elections are merely a formality, but but with outcome predetermined by these groups of elites or oligarchs. This is the classic definition of authoritarian state. Well, another scenario, if the democracy is wiped out in a system, society will regress to a medieval-like state with rulers, warlords, feudal lords, and those who are controlling the mine resources. And the rest of the population will live in poverty and slavery. That's a neo-feudalistic nightmare. Well, but in the future, because let's take into account the current evolvement status of our humanity, surveillance technology will be omnipresent, allowing a select group of technocrats to monitor and control the aspect of their citizens' life. Privacy will be out of the question in this case, if the democracy will be totally absent in such a fictional scenario. Well, society will be divided into rigid castes based on hereditary factors such as race, ethnicity, and social status. Movement between castes is virtually impossible, and discriminations will take place. This is another scenario if the democracy will be absent in the social system. Well, cybernetic. Let's talk about cybernetic serfdom. Technological advancement have led to the creation of new class of cyborgs who serves as laborers for the elites. Well, the elites will rule the world in that case. The human rights are non-existent, are discarded in favor of efficiency and productivity, with the state taking control of all the matters. If the democracy will be absent, well, citizens live most of their lives in a simulated virtual reality where the boundaries between reality and illusions will be blurred. The true nature of governance is hidden behind virtual deception. If the democracy will be non-existent. Okay, next one. Retrograde regime. Society adopts archaic practices and beliefs, reverting to a pre-modern era of superstitions, let's say. Scientific progress is stifled and will be completely outside the systems. It will be banned, and the knowledge will be controlled by a ruling class. If, of course, the democracy will be absent in a system. Next scenario. Genetic engineering has created a race of superhumans who rule over the rest of humanity as benevolent dictators. AI intelligence, the genetically inferior people are relegated to a second or lower status class. If the democracy would be banned from a system, well, again, next scenario. Algorithmic autocracy. Algorithmic autocracy. While governance is outsourced to advanced artificial intelligence, which will make decisions based on, let's say, algorithms. Human input will be minimal, and citizens will be subjects of and victims of the algorithm judge beyond their understandings. Of course, if the democracy will be absent in this scenario. Well, next scenario will be dimensional despotism. Society will be governed by beings from higher dimension, extraterrestrial aliens, who will manipulate our people or the humans to suit their desires. Human consciousness, will be mere, and for these extra-dimensional overlords. Another scenario will be that the governance will be determined by the propagations of memes, with the most viral ideas shaping law and policies. Citizens will compete to create and spread out influential memes, leading to a society driven by viral trends. That's a bit funny, but this will be a possible scenario if the democracy will be absent from a system. And another one is that the governance is determined by, for example, quantum voting, where each citizen's votes exist in a superpositions of states until it's observed. The outcome of elections is uncertain until the moment of observations, or it will be only algorithmical, changed by some super AI intelligence, leading to a society where political outcomes will be unpredictable. Well, this was some sort of imagination exercise on what the world will look like if the democracy will be absent from a normal social system. So, of course, it's only related to our imaginations, but this could happen because this is how, for example, the big dictators have risen in the past, and this video is just to prove how efficient and how necessary is to have a democratic rule prevails in our social life and to be ruled by democratic laws. Thank you